Hey, my name's Zach, and today I'll be discussing a recent online article featured on the ABC website on the 9th of April. The headline was Can L-Platers Still Drive and Have Driving Lessons During the Coronavirus Pandemic? In the article, a 17-year-old student was fined $1,652 for learning to drive with her mum in the car. Even though the fine was overturned, I question the legal system and the handling of some activities that are considered non-essential, such as taking part in driving lessons, seeing as going for a drive would be a good way to leave confinement with very little risk involved. So to get it started, I don't exactly believe that a non-essential activity should inherently equate to an illegal activity. While I do agree that non-essential activities for the most part should be avoided during our coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic lockdown, driving lessons are one in particular that I do not believe should necessarily be avoided and considered illegal, though still, yes, non-essential. A non-essential activity is just one that does not need to be taken part in. I don't need to be playing video games during lockdown, but it is just something to take my mind off of the current situation, just as driving could be for some other people. For example, even haircuts are still somehow considered essential, but the simple act of just sitting in your car away from your home during lockdown is considered illegal, and you can get fined for it. I think one of the biggest issues here is that the 17-year-old girl and her mother had no idea that they would get fined for taking part in driving lessons, considering no one had come out and said anything about driving being non-essential. So I believe that if someone had come out and said prior to this event that driving and driving lessons would be non-essential and illegal, then this whole debacle would have been avoided and there'd be much less uproar about this situation. Now, as I mentioned just prior, haircuts are still considered somewhat essential and you can go get them, whereas driving, just simply driving, can get you fined without real explanation. I want you to compare something real quick. Compare a hair salon full of possibly maybe 4 to 5 plus people with no social distancing going on, and two people sitting in a car by themselves confined. Which one of those two situations do you think involves a greater risk? That's right, the car ride. So why is it that getting a haircut is completely fine? However, a car ride is a no-no, is deemed unnecessary and bad. The whole idea I'm trying to get across is that some activities have greater risks than others, and this one in particular, the driving lessons, have essentially no risk whatsoever, considering in this situation, the two people that were in the car, a mother and a daughter, were completely confined, windows up, doors closed, yada yada, and there are two people that are already in the homes by themselves anyway. It's not like you and your mates are meeting up for the first time in 2 weeks, could be infecting each other. No, you're with your mum, who you're already going to be with, and who already been with for the past, I don't know, like 2 weeks or whatever, right? So look, last of all, it's just a good way to get out of the house during lockdown, which involves no risk. I mean, I'm sure you've thought about it. You don't like being in lockdown for what, like 3 months, whatever? And I'm sure this daughter and her mother didn't either. And the daughter was just thinking, hey, I'm 17. I could be getting driving lessons right now. I want to get out of the house. It'll be no big deal, right? No, apparently it was a big deal. No, no driving lessons for you. You get a what, $1,600 fine because you were in a car. I mean, sure, you get in a car to go to essential places, but just being the act of being in a car without going to an essential place is somehow unessential in itself. Like, To go to an essential store, like a supermarket, you need to get in the car, first of all. So how is it that just being in the car by itself is illegal and unnecessary and unessential? I don't understand. That makes no sense. I mean, take it from me. I'm just a 16-year-old boy, and I'm going insane. Insane! Sitting in my room 24/7 for the past, like, what? It's been like 2 to 3 months. I hate it. I hate it. So I can imagine how this 17-year-old girl felt who just thought, oh, I'll go out for a drive, I'll, get some hours in with my mum. Boom! $1,600 fine. Excuse me? There was no warning for this. I'm just going insane sitting in my house all day. I just thought I'd get out, get some fresh air, have some fun, put no one at risk, but not. Apparently it's not allowed. And I'm sure there'll be people who say things like, "Oh, but it's just no, it's not essential. So just don't do it. Don't take the risk." Like, bro, McDonald's is still open. Excuse me? People in like a 2 by 2 foot kitchen, like 20 of them, all sweaty, all exposing themselves to customers. But like that's allowed apparently. But no, sitting in a car, no. Screw essential, non-essential activities. Give me more answers.